Hello everyone, it's me Clayton. I just finished watching Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. So after the mixed reception to the fourth phase of the MCU, Phase 5 begins with a film that feels like it really should be a big turning point for the series, especially since it's introducing Kang the Conqueror, it has our heroes heading to the quantum realm, and it has a ton of new characters to introduce. All in the span of like 2 hours, but the film ends up being a little less than the sum of its parts. That's not to say that this is a bad film, it's just not nearly as good as I thought it was going to be. But then again, that's sort of been a running theme with recent Marvel projects. Let's get to the story though, shall we? The story revolves around Scott Lang once again, played by Paul Rudd, as he's enjoying the life of being an Avenger who's credited with saving the world. He has a best-selling book, he's getting great reactions from the crowds, and it seems like everything is going his way. Unfortunately, his daughter Cassie is getting in trouble with the law. And after he found out that she's able to create a device that can send a signal to the quantum realm, he, Evangeline Lilly's Hope, Janet Van Dyne, and Hank Pym all get sucked into the quantum realm, and the film's all about them trying to get back out of the quantum realm while also fighting Kang the Conqueror, played by Jonathan Majors. Now, some people have claimed that this film has some similarities to Star Wars when it comes to its overall tone, and that's true for a few sections. But while the Star Wars films generally had a strong identity with their locations due to great visual effects, the visual effects in this film are more of a mixed bag. There are some that are generally great looking, and some that look actually a bit better than some of the visual effects we got in Phase 4, whereas others look like they were clearly put on a sound stage. They're very noticeable, even if you watch it in IMAX. However, some of the costumes and some of the designs of the creatures inside the quantum realm are pretty inventive, and some are even kind of funny, even if some of them do resemble Lucasfilm more so than a Marvel movie. But the problem with a lot of these creatures is, despite the fact that they're visually inventive, is that we don't get to know that much about the residents of the quantum realm before we go to fight Kang, so there's not much investment in the new characters at all, outside of just having a funny joke that they do every now and then, or just having a little quirk that they have that separates them. Thankfully, though, Jonathan Majors as Kang the Conqueror is easily the best aspect of the film. Granted, we've already met a variant of Kang in the first season of Loki, but this is the first project where I felt Kang was an actual threat that felt like how he was in the comics and how he was in Earth's Mightiest Heroes. He's a master of time, very manipulative, but at the same time, you can tell there's something else emotionally going on that he tries to keep under wraps, even if his anger and his own malice can come out every now and then. I generally want to learn more about this guy, and Jonathan Majors really makes him come across as sinister while also seeming desperate at the right times. Even if I kind of prefer his portrayal in Earth's Mightiest Heroes, but Jonathan Majors is a close second. Though, despite this being a movie about Ant-Man and the Wasp herself feels like she's a little underused in the film. Almost like Marvel was afraid that she would take over the film, as some critics of Phase 4 have been saying that for some side characters, so they tried to sideline her for the most part to keep the focus on Ant-Man. It's not that big of a problem, but I just did notice that. Then again, this film also happens to introduce Cassie's superhero persona as Stature, and I like the fact that she isn't perfect at it at first, and that Ant-Man has to actually teach her a bit about crime fighting before she can really do her thing. And also MODOK is in this film, and given how they tie him into the first movie, and given his design, I figured that he would always look silly no matter what they tried, so I'm glad that they just decided to embrace his goofiness, as the comic version, in order to be accurate, would have to look friggin' ridiculous. So, on the whole, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania isn't an amazing movie, but I would say it's at least entertaining enough for the time being. But considering that this is the second Marvel film to get a rotten on Rotten Tomatoes, it's very clear that this probably won't connect to audiences who don't already love the other Ant-Man movies. So let's just hope things go up from here. I'm giving Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania a 6 out of 10. See you next time.